New Thought Media Network proudly presents Having Courageous Conversations, where real talk dives deep. Each week we go beyond surface talk. We open our hearts, speak our truths, and dive into the stories that shape us. No scripts, no filters, just powerful, unforgettable conversations about life, purpose, healing, and truth. Join the conversation, because your voice belongs here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check out our YouTube channel at Having Courageous Conversations or email us at yourshowyourvoice@gmail.com. Now, let's have a courageous conversation.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. You are welcome here. This is Having Courageous Conversations, and it's a space for those who are ready to speak up, sit with discomfort, challenge assumptions, and connect deeply with themselves and others. It's about showing up and being vulnerable, even when facing criticism and potential failure. Choosing courage over comfort is daring and needs to be seen and heard. This is a sacred and unfiltered space to share honestly about our journeys. No script, no fluff, just courage. And today we are so grateful to welcome Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, who Marg is going to introduce you to.
Hi, everyone. And it just feels like such a long time since we've been on the air. And how awesome to introduce our new time and same show, but new time with Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski. Robert Brzezinski holds Masters in Consciousness Studies and a lifelong student of transformational leadership. His passion for the emerging interspiritual age, coupled with a thorough study of integral theory, serves Robert well in the creation of an authentic spiritual practice. Robert is also passionate about adult spiritual education and brings his teaching skills to the virtual classroom. Thank goodness for virtual. He is a dynamic spiritual leader, passionate firebrand speaker, and a teacher, as well as a personal coach and spiritual business consultant that continually finds ways to share the science of mind and spirit in paradigm shifts ways. His passion includes his growing up with his family, skiing, and mountain biking. Robert's central message is simple. You can have the life you truly desire, and creating that life is a collaborative effort. Isn't that true? Mm-hmm. No one can really go it alone because we are all in this love together. Walking through the fire of transformation is our topic today, and it certainly has me intrigued. I had these visions of walking through the fire and what could we be possibly talking about? And so, Robert, you're on.
Thank you. It's so good to be here with both of you. And I want to first just kind of start that. Welcome to your new time. Welcome to the new day. And this show has gone through its own transformations over the last couple of years. And you've been with the network for a while now. And it's really great to see how this program has grown and consistently reaches a unique audience. As part of not only Unity Kitchener and all that, but really diving into what New Thought is. And knowing you're both based out of Canada, I'm just going to say it. I might end up coming up and crashing on your couches at some point here because
always welcome, Robert, anytime.
Thank you.
And thank you for that. Yes, we have gone through our own transformation.
Exactly. And part of the reason I chose that title today is twofold. I'm going to share something in a little bit here that is really personal. But I want people to recognize that even as we move through the personal transformations of our lives, what New Thought teaches us is those personal transformations are reflected out into the larger world. And I don't think it's any secret that the United States and all of the whole planet is moving through a transformation in consciousness at this time. And it can appear to be like a blazing fire. It can appear to be quite ugly. And yet the transformation is always really, really a good thing. Now, I always like to remember when we start to talk in words that are more than one or two syllables, the definitions are important. And the dictionary definition of transformation is a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. I came up in the religious science side of New Thought, and Dr. Holmes had a quote that this thing called God, and in this quote, he uses the term first cause. But what he said was first cause is always taking on form in order to abandon that form so it may take on new form. What that speaks to for me is that we are by essence this spiritual essence. We are this spiritual thing experiencing life, and there are going to be forms that come and go. I'm sure we all would, or many of us at least, wouldn't mind going back and having the same skin we had when we were 20, or the same dimensions of our body as we did when we were 20. And yet we have transformed. We have had a complete and sometimes dramatic change in how we show up in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Every day we're a new person, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And science proves this out. It only takes 7 days for us to completely recreate the cells in our body. Every 7 days now, gratefully, it happens over those 7 days. It's not, it's Sunday afternoon, let's chop everything and start again. But we're constantly replenishing and changing who we are. Mm-hmm. And I look at when the people that don't want to make those changes, that want to hold on to the way things were, and want to just know this is the way it's always been and it's always going to be. Mm-hmm. If we don't embrace transformation, what I believe happens is we die. Yeah. Maybe not a physical death, but a death in our consciousness. Yeah. Absolutely. And it is our consciousness that's here to bring us forward. So if I may, I'd like to kind of kick this off with a song.
Absolutely.
Now, for everybody listening that might have just went, uh-oh, he's going to sing. No, don't worry. Because long ago, I was introduced to this artist, this gentleman. This is Reverend Dr. Barry Ebert. He has recently retired from the Mile High Church here in Colorado. But he wrote and sings this song, and I want you to really listen to it. Listen to the lyrics and listen to the message behind this music with us for just a few minutes.
Thank you.
Will you stand in the fire with me? Help me hold my ground. And if my courage fails and I start to run, turn me back around. Will you stand in the fire with me? Open your heart with mine. I've never been down in such darkness before. It feels bigger than me this time. And I'm not asking you for answers to all of these questions or words to ease my mind. I just need somebody to listen sometimes. I will pay you back in kind. Will you stand in the fire with me? Tell me if you hear a sound after I call out to God for some kind of sign. Won't you show me that you're still around? Will you stand in the fire with me? Tell me that it's true, that there's a sunrise out there somewhere where I'm gonna smile, that there's hope for folks like me and you. And I'm not asking you for answers to all of these questions or words to ease my mind. I just need somebody to listen sometimes. I will pay you back in kind. Will you stand in the fire with me?
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
And I have a running deal with Reverend Barry that every time I use that song in a presentation, I owe him $1.
Okay.
So he and I set that up many years ago that I can use that anytime I want, and when I do, I just send him $1. So, Dr. Barry, if you happen to be watching, I'll send you your $1 here this week. So, but what I've always loved about that is he's not asking anybody, and we could sing this to a partner, to a lover, to someone going through withdrawals or fighting an addiction, and and he's asking us not to try to fix anything, not to try to do anything, but to just be with someone.
Yeah.
To just be with me as I go through my transformation. It's so very important. Because I know a lot of very well-meaning people that would love to run into the fire and fix me or help, or what can I do? And it's human nature when we hear of someone that's going through transformation. What can I do? How can I help? And oftentimes, and more often than not, all that we have to do is be willing to listen.
Absolutely.
To be present.
And sometimes, not even say a word, right? It's the same when somebody's grieving. What do you need? Just need you to be present, not to fix me, not to do anything, just be there.
Yeah, exactly. So, so I'd like to share with your audience, and this is, I've gone through my own personal transformation as of recently. And if anybody's been watching this network for a while, I'm not talking about the fact that I grew my hair out. If you go back and watch any of the old episodes of some of my stuff, but it's been almost a year now that I've been growing my hair out and started to do that. But there was something that was stirring within me actually for many months. And it didn't really come to the forefront until this past December. This past December, I turned the page and entered my 59th year. So I turned 59, which actually means I've entered my 60th year, because that means I completed 59.
Yeah.
So, and in that, I came to a very hard realization that I was addicted. I'm addicted to THC. I'm addicted to the mistaken beliefs that I had created. And I had created a whole world around myself that justified my addiction, that not only justified my addiction, but in many ways glorified my addiction. And I am now over 30 days clean. I wanted to make sure we went at least 30 days, and this past Sunday was my 30th day of being completely clean and sober. And the sobriety is just kind of an added benefit. It wasn't really something I set out to do. It just made life easier to not have a drink while I was moving through this transformation. And there were days where it felt like it was fire. There were days where it felt, and as spirit would, I was thrown a few different stress tests to see how I would do and whether I would break down. And after 30 days, I feel like I'm at a place where I can start to share not only my experience, but the promise, the vision I see now that I'm not hiding behind a smokescreen. I know there's a lot of people out there that are still hiding behind the smoke screens. We convince ourselves that, well, this is just my form of medication. You know, it keeps my anxiety from getting away from me, or makes me more creative, or just a little bit to help me go to sleep, and all the various excuses that we create as a human, because I believe all addiction is based in fear. It's based in a fear that we're not seen or we're not heard. It's based in a fear that we're not good enough. And what I can share is that as I've let go of that, more work shows up on my plate. More doors are being opened for me to serve and to share the gifts that are still here. They're not any different. If anything, they are more clear. They are more visible. And my closest colleagues that either look the other way or in some cases didn't look the other way, have said they notice the differences.
Wow. That's huge.
Can I ask two whys?
Absolutely.
One why is, why did you choose to stop? And second why is, why did you choose to share it today?
Great questions. The second why is the easiest. I didn't want to share anything publicly until after I had reached that 30-day mark, as I mentioned. And I did not plan to share this today, per se, as in the way of the scheduling. You all actually invited me to be on this show last week, but I couldn't because of another scheduling thing. And then it was like, okay, well, how about the week after? And I was like, oh, I can do that week. And then I wrote it in my calendar and I went, wow, that's going to be day 34. That might be an okay day to share. So, and I couldn't think of a better place to share than on a program called Courageous Conversations. Because I do know there will be those that see this and think, oh my God, really? Wait, hold on. And, the biggest fear really in all of this, and I'm going to come back to your first question there in a second, Marg, I promise. The biggest fear in all of this is, and I think for many, is that people will immediately look at you and say, oh, so you've been lying to me all this time. And what I have found really is so many, I haven't heard that yet. I've been sharing this privately with a number of the boards that I serve on and the other organizations that I'm a part of, and some of the closest people in the network. Obviously, my wife and the other ministers and practitioners that are a part of this network. I've been sharing this for a while now, and my dearly beloved Laura has been that rock that has stood right here through the fire with me each and every day.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger question of why now? Spirit kicked me in the ass. Spirit sat me down and said, there will be no more of this. So there wasn't, and I'm grateful, there wasn't a traumatic thing that happened. I didn't drive my car into a tree. I didn't injure myself.
Mm-hmm.
My wife didn't leave me. My kids didn't, put me in a home or try to. And truthfully, it was my own ego that made it take this long. I've been hearing that in the background. I've been hearing the voice of the divine for months saying, okay, this isn't it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're mistaken. And without trying to celebrate the addiction,
Mm-hmm.
I do have to say that for any of us, the hardest things in our lives bring us to the point of the greatest opportunities. So it was necessary. It was necessary for me to spend the insane amount of money that I have spent over my lifetime. I don't want to even try to calculate.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, this isn't the first great addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I spent many years as a young man smoking cigarettes. And in just a little over a month from now, almost 2 months from now, in just under 2 months from now, I will celebrate 16 years without a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
Why it took me another 16 to let go of cannabis, I'm not sure, but I'm trusting that those revelations, those epiphanies will continue to come to me.
Mm-hmm.
What I know is I had developed a habit that and convinced myself through the use of false beliefs that I was a better speaker,
Mm-hmm.
that I could give better attention to people, that I could work more hours and then use cannabis to help me come down and rest more deeply and sleep more deeply. So there was not just one moment or one event, but a culmination of that quiet voice within, that quiet whisper of the divine that says, you've had enough.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't really serving you.
Mm-hmm.
And this really is getting in the way of the bigger vision for who I'm here to be and how I'm here to serve.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for revealing that on our show. I certainly feel very honored and appreciative that you've done that. And I'd like to invite anybody who has any questions for Reverend Robert to please put some comments in the chat or to ask a question. And I know that he would answer you with great pleasure.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's wonderful because it's also got to do with consciousness, right? When we have those fears, it interrupts something in our consciousness because everything is energy. And so for me, a fear, and when I say fear, because you're hiding behind THC or liquor or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
that creates energy. Because you're also feeling like I'm not being real. I don't want people to know, all these kinds of things, the feelings and things that come up in your mind, I think sort of block certain areas, whereas now you're opening yourself up.
Yeah.
to be clear, to have to really have that energy that I think you're aspiring to be.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel like a great awakening.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be very clear. I didn't do this alone. and I didn't do it in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
It did require it's not I think it was Dr. Roger Teal at Mile High that shared this in a ministerial class the first time I heard it. But as spiritual leaders, we're going to go through our own stuff. But don't go talk about it from the pulpit on Sunday morning until you can look back and see what the gifts are.
Mm.
So when something happens or there's great change, be with it for a while. Don't go, hey, everybody, right? If I had started talking about this, now my birthday was December 20th, so that was the day I chose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be straight, I'll be honest with everybody. I had a pretty good party on the 19th. I made sure I got my fill before I was done. But I had worked. I've been working with psychologists. I've been working with other ministers. I've been working with close friends. I've been working with people that don't know me.
Yeah.
I developed an entire system through ChatGPT and AI. I've been using supplements to bolster my immune system and to balance because there is I've been using an app to track different things because we need those reminders.
Mm-hmm.
We need the science on our side.
Mm-hmm.
I think far too many people face, whether it's alcohol or light drugs like THC or heavy drugs like heroin or a sex addiction or a food addiction. We think we have to go it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And if the 12-step programs are what works for you, then use that. And if there's something other, then use that. And we live in an age where we have all the wisdom of the universe at our very fingertips.
Yeah. And I think that's very important what you've just said, because I think that a lot of people, and I will speak for myself with some of the things that I've gone through, you don't want to share because you think you may be perceived a certain way, or people will change their opinion about you, or things like that. So you carry it alone. And try and deal with it. But as you say, in hindsight, you can look back and see what was the gift in that. However, being able to help or to ask for help, I think is a very spiritual thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's recognizing that this is what I need in the moment. And so I'm going to take that next step and be courageous enough to do that.
Yeah.
Which makes it easier. And then you think, why didn't I do this before?
Exactly. Right. I think I know why I didn't do it before. And that only deals with the amount of work that's shown up on my desk since I've gotten clean.
Yeah.
Spirit said, okay, good. And that's part of it, right? Is when we let go of the false beliefs.
Go.
And I've spoken about this for years, and so many good New Thought, Unity, CSL ministers speak about it. When we let go of the false belief, we're able to better express the truth of who we have come here to be.
Mm-hmm.
And there are there's something I'm not going to talk about today, but
oh, come on.
I'm in a process of discernment right now. And if you had asked me 6-8 months ago, and actually 6 or 8 months ago, I was saying, no, I'm not qualified for that.
Mhm.
No, can't do.
Not ready.
Not ready. And I would never have ascribed that to the fact that I had an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
However, I now can see that I was ready, but the smoke screen wouldn't let others fully see, and I wasn't capable of fully shining my light and the gifts and the skills and the talents that I've brought to this thing called life. But now I can.
Beautiful. So this half hour has gone so quickly. It's time to take a short break. So don't go away. We'll be right back. And again, if you've got any questions, keep them for when we come back so that we can ask Dr. Robert, Reverend Dr. Robert.
Absolutely. Please help us say thank you to all of our organizational sponsors, including the Hepperlin Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Center for Spiritual Living United Life, Sunshine Cathedral, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Universal Joy Center, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Home Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. On behalf of New Thought Media Network, thank you, and please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, come be you.
Robert, thank you so much for the honor, as Cheryl said, of coming out today on our show. So appreciated. And also, I really appreciated that you shared all of the people that came along with you. You weren't, you have a team, and invited others to join you on this journey. And as we talked about it before, and on your bio, you're saying that this is a shared life. Yes, I really appreciated that you shared all of that with us. Is there one moment one action, one something that stood out for you in the last 30 days that you can say, oh, wow, what a difference. This has changed, or I see something different.
There have been many. Yes, there have been many. And after 20 years in this philosophy, and with some of the roles I play and the positions I hold and the people I call colleagues, there was and the truth is there was one person that I actually have shared this with in person. Everybody else that I've shared this with has been through a computer screen. Whether it was an individual meeting or whether it was a group meeting, some of the boards I sit on and things of that nature. The thing that is the most striking is the absolute demonstration of compassion that I have felt through the video screen. And the number of people following those meetings and conversations that would call or text with support or congratulations. The luminaries in the New Thought movement that have said, you already have my number, use it anytime. It has really been, for me, a great demonstration of what we teach here, what thought teaches. And when we teach, we live in oneness. And so your pain is my pain, and my sobriety is your sobriety, and my getting clean is not so much a it isn't meant to be an inspiration as much as I think it is to be a demonstration of the power of these principles. And as I said, there were a couple of experiences, couple of meetings where at the end I was like, damn, I could really use a good joint right now. But I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I knew that there were those holding me in consciousness as well. There were those that were with me, not necessarily in that specific meeting, but were with me in consciousness, holding to the greatness, to the light that I can bring, to the great things I'm going to get to do, and to what I'm able to now bring that I wasn't bringing. The product
only you really knew about, nobody else did.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And there is a sense of productivity when I don't have to run out to the garage for 5 or 10 minutes after every meeting and before every meeting. Right. And there are going to be people that sit and go, wait a minute. So you were high during that meeting? Oh yeah, I was. There are a lot of meetings over the last handful of years where the doctor makes the worst patients, and I forgot to silence my device. There were a lot of meetings that most you would never know. But I knew.
Yeah.
So deep within, I knew I wasn't playing full out. I knew I wasn't showing up as my authentic self. I knew I wasn't showing up as the light that I claim to be. And for any of us, that takes a psychic toll. That now there are some very personal reasons around all of this. I did look at the fact that at approaching 60, I do carry a few more pounds that are around than I would what I would really like, and so getting back into the gym and adding the routine of being religious about getting to the gym has helped and is going to continue to help. And because I really want to be here in another 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to spend another 60 years with my wife. I really want to spend another 60 years with my family, with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I want to spend, well, maybe not another 60 years running this ministry. We'll see about that. But I really do want to continue it may be time to let someone else take the controls. The day will come where I'm ready to give up the reins of the thing and let others run it. But I really do want to be contributing. And here's how I've said it for so long, and I'm going to continue to say it. I want to be here contributing to the evolution of human consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. I think that's why most of us chose to come at this time with everything that's going on. And so I can relate to that, Robert. I think, we're in this boat together, and it's ours to choose the direction that we wanted to go in. And that's by working on ourselves individually. Because we know that by doing that, we can create change collectively. And so what you're doing is that. And I love what you said about, I'm not an inspiration, I'm a demonstration. That for me was like, wow, that's beautiful. And yes, absolutely, a demonstration of being your authentic self. Beautiful.
And how this philosophy is available for anyone to experience transformation. I'm really not all that special in this movement. I do a lot of things. Spirit has led me to a lot of things that give me a very unique opportunity and very unique perspective on how new thought can change the world. It is changing the world. And right before this interview, right before this program, I was on the phone, or I was on a video call with someone that brand new connection, someone that doesn't know my history, that doesn't understand. I didn't have to share any of this because none of it was ever a part of the new friendship we've developed. But in that call, she was very clear. She's like, I'm pretty clear that new thought is what's going to save the world. This is the thing. And I have to agree that, and here's another part of this. I was on another call yesterday where it was, right, we're religious scientists. I came up in this as a religious scientist. It doesn't mean I never called myself a Christian. I never called myself a Catholic. I never called myself a Jew. I never called myself any specific religion. I'm a scientist. I don't have a scientific degree, but I've used and experimented with what's been presented to me as ways of spiritual living, as practices, and I was in a call yesterday, and the people in that kept coming back to, at my core, I am a religious scientist. And that led me to new thought. Now, we could argue the semantics of the fact that new thought actually came before religious science, and new thought was on the planet and was active.
Ancient wisdom, right? We say new thought, ancient wisdom.
Exactly. Yes. And yet this philosophy, these practices have the power to transform anyone's life. And I say it a lot. We do the work of healing ourselves. We do the work for ourselves so that we may do that work in the organizations and the community groups and the businesses and the places that we are passionate about in our local area, in our lives. And that is what changes the world.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. By being a demonstration, a demonstrator, but also what our energy, right? It's all about energy, because that's what creates our reality. And so for me, when we are giving off that light, that energy that's loving, that's compassionate, that's inclusive, all those things, not to say that we don't do that when we put blocks in our way as well. But I think, for me, that to me is important personally. That's my belief system. But yeah, I love what you're saying. I love what you're doing. Mark, do you have any other questions?
I just sort of want to put a cog in it, right? And say, yeah, well, how can being this person, the way I live, make a difference with all of the shit that's going on in the world? Like, how can, my little self make a difference? And I know I've made a difference with the neighbor and so I know it can,
Right.
It is the way we live helps.
Has a ripple effect.
It does. And I know that I've seen it. And still, when it feels so big, and there's people like, oh yeah, well, Mark, you just think this way, and you should be out there with a placard or a this or that. It just feels really big right now.
Thank you, Mark. It's a very, very important part. And as you're sharing, I'm reminded of the old story of the college professor that holds up a large glass jar and puts a bunch of big rocks in it and says, "Is this jar full?" And the students say yes. And then he takes out a bunch of smaller rocks and adds more. And now is it full? And they say yes. And then he pulls out a bag of sand and fills it with sand and says, this now full. And they finally get it, right? That our oneness, our fullness is absolutely dependent upon the little pieces, the little efforts, the smallest of smiles. That I shared. My wife put something out online on Tuesday. So here in America, we had a walkout demonstration on Tuesday. It was the 1 year anniversary of the inauguration of who, and a lot of people had walkouts. And she posted a picture of her and her mother in Amherst, New Hampshire, and she put something about not a big group, but we're here. And my response and my comment back was, every small effort leads to the wholeness, adds to the totality. In my prayer work, I often, a phrase comes forward that who you are, and I'm speaking to everybody that may ever see this now at another time, in another dimension, in another century. Who you are is absolutely vital to the evolution of human consciousness.
Yeah.
So there are no small actions. There are big actions. Every action is vital. And I stood out on a street corner on Tuesday for a couple hours, not with a sign that belittled a group, not with a sign, but with a sign that promoted peace and love. And honestly, it's no small feat when somebody yells something out the window at you or gives you that one finger salute. It's no small feat to think it and say it, I love you too. Because those people that are based in hate, those people that only can seem to profess hate, don't know what to do when you look them back and say, I love you too. In the direct face of their hate. And I'll never know if standing out on that street corner with another good religious science minister, by the way, I wasn't the only CSL minister out there on Tuesday. I'll never know if those small acts of love affect any of those people.
Mm.
But I believe that they added to the collective consciousness of love.
Yes.
And so every small drop adds to the collective consciousness of love and peace and oneness that we're teaching and that we're bringing forward.
Beautifully said. Beautiful. Yeah. Love that. How does that feel, Mark?
It feels good, and I'm feeling, if I truthful, feeling emotional, and it's mixed, right? It's mixed because of the reality and because of yeah. I was just thinking, I was talking to somebody earlier today, and we were talking about similar things, like we can make a difference in this world. And Wendy and I were going through a McDonald's drive-through a few years back, and there's a V there where which car is going to go next, and the gentleman let us go through, and we decided to pay for his order. And so when we were at the picking up our order, we saw out of the rear view mirror that he was actually paying. And we said to the person, "Hey, wait a second, we paid for his order." And she said, "He paid for the person behind him." And that was a few years back. And that circumstance still lives in the story. And it's being told, and the person that I was talking to today, like, she had a similar story. And so those acts of kindness are being recanted, and they still live on. And yeah,
absolutely. That's how little old you is making a difference.
Who are you calling old?
Here's another one. I think I spoke about this earlier, that or I did sometime today. Before New Thought Media Network came online, I was kind of burned out in ministry, and I had gone through some things, and I was driving Uber for a living. I was driving rideshare for a living. And when you drive rideshare, you see just how many people are out there destitute, that don't believe, that are living hand to mouth and are on the street corners begging. And I guess it was my high and mighty attitude that said, I don't want to give them cash, so I would give them gift cards to the local supermarket. And I kept a stack of $5 gift cards in my car. And now I've since also woken up to the fact that that's a rather elitist type of thing to do, because number one, they don't get the whole $5 worth when they go to the supermarket, and yada yada. And truthfully, if you're still addicted to alcohol, who am I to demand you quit cold turkey? So I've gone back to giving out cash. However, what I've also noticed is over the last few years here in America, we've done, at least in Colorado, we've done a really, really good job of vilifying panhandlers and driving them away from the street corners. And we've done a really good job of denying that these people exist. And so now I don't have that opportunity to do something. But what I realized is, if you go by any major intersection and you look close enough, they're still there.
Yeah.
So now I've got to stop the car, but I do. I find that corner where they're all hiding behind the billboard or the sign or wherever. And I don't always have a lot, but when I do, I take the time to get out and say, "Hey, I'm not here. Here's something. Keep a bag of toiletries in your car. Hand out a pair of socks. Give people a fresh towel or a washcloth. Hand them a bar of soap, or not out of your dirty, but out of, I understand you probably don't have what is necessary. So what do you need most? I got a grab bag full of stuff. What do you need most? And if that's a meal, then hey, let's do that. and I don't record these things, and I don't document these things, and I don't jump on social media and say, oh, look at what I did.
Yeah.
It ain't about me.
Yeah.
It's about all of us supporting the oneness that we are.
Yeah.
And if there's one person hurting tonight, if there's one person cold tonight, if there's one person addicted tonight, then we're all still addicted.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a wonderful perspective and way to look at things. And it's a truth for some of us. For others, they have a different thought. But I agree with you. I give cash, and my kids or somebody will judge me and say, where that's going, and I'm like, wherever it goes, I bless it, whatever is needed. And if a person needs a hit to survive right now, then that's where it's going to go. And like you said, who am I to judge, and who am I to deprive anyone from whatever it is that they need? Those are their choices.
Exactly. Because the day will come where where one of those people says, hey man, you know what I really need? I really need to get sober.
Mm-hmm.
How do I do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come on, get in the back, get in the car. You're not even in the back. Get in the seat next to me and let's go. I'll get you somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? Or hey man, what I really need is I really need a hug. I really need to know that it's going to be okay. I really need something to eat. I really need whatever that might be.
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
Absolutely.
And they haven't figured out how to colonize Mars yet, so I don't think we're going anywhere in this lifetime. So let's get together and support each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my goodness, we are coming to the end of the show. What an inspiring and heartfelt conversation this has been. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Robert, for your openness, your wisdom, and your willingness to share your journey with us. And thank you, our viewers, for joining us today. Be sure to tune in next week when we have another guest and another conversation to continue exploring, being courageous, and just being human, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yes.
Any last words you'd like to say?
Thank you. To everyone that's ever watched a program, to everyone that's ever donated $1, to everyone that's ever contributed in any way, because this ministry is changing lives and not just my own. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for
Robert.
bringing awareness. That's what you do. You bring your heart, your soul, and awareness to this world.
And you're a wonderful demonstration of how to be, and how to be authentic, how to be integral, just how to be spiritual. You're being a great demonstration for all of that right now, I believe.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Marg, is there anything you would like to say?
Other than what I just did, not too much further for me to say. Just I appreciate today and your company, and I look forward to part 2 when you reveal what you said. I'm not going to speak about this today, so I look forward to part 2.
That's how I make sure I can come back again sometime.
I'm
grateful for that too.
I love that. Yeah. So thank you once again to everybody who is watching this, whether it's live or online. We appreciate you. And we'll see you again next week. Bye.
Bye now.
Thank you, Cheryl.